Hi gang, how are you today? Craig Ripley here for Living Off the Slab. And today what I'm doing is, well, actually my first vlog. I don't think I have actually ever done this before on this channel. But today I thought it would be a good time to try out my new vlogging setup, which you can see it right there. But also I want to introduce to you my brand new 2018 BMW K1600 GTL. Now, those of you who have followed the channel, you know that I have been looking for a new bike. Oh, that was fun. Always be on alert. Anyway, those of you who have been following the channel know that I have been considering buying a new bike after I got home from my 60-day trip on which I took my 2009 Victory Vision, and the Vision did great. The Vision has been a fantastic bike for us over the years. Had it for 10 years now, and it has just taken us to some amazing places. Just has been really a fantastic bike. However, it is 10 years old, and hey, I like to try new things, and also I am getting a little older as well as the bike is getting a little older. And I am finding that after a long day in the saddle, especially two up, that the bike is starting to feel a little bit heavy. It goes for, well, just under 900 pounds. I believe the Vision was originally listed at about 875 pounds with fuel and fluids. But that, of course, is before you add a passenger onto the back of it and then throw luggage on it. So you are looking at a bike that, you know, is well over 1,200 pounds by the time you add all of that stuff on there. And at the end of a long day, it just gets heavy for me. So I've been wanting to get something that's a little bit lighter. And also, to be honest with you, I want something that's a little sportier. I wanted to get away from the cruiser setup and go into more of a sport touring bike, because that's just the kind of riding that I've been gravitating towards over the years. And so I had quite a few options to choose from in this search. But it really got down to two of them, if I'm honest with you. And that is this bike, the GTL, and also the BMW R1200 RT, the touring model. Now, I know some of you will say, well, why didn't you think about getting the Goldwing? And the truth is that I did. I looked at it several times, and while I liked the design, I liked the fact that they added lighter weight. I could have lived with a smaller gas tank. What I couldn't live with, though, is the smaller luggage capacity that they put on this new bike. Basically, it listed as 29 gallons, which is the same as I have on the Vision. And the Vision is tight. When we're traveling two up, can never get enough luggage in the space that is provided for us. We always have to put an extra bag up top, and again that puts the weight up top and makes the bike heavy again after a long day of riding. So I wanted something that had a little bit more storage capacity and also allowed me to keep that weight down lower. And so this bike does that, right? This has a couple of extra gallons of storage capacity at 31 gallons. Which isn't a huge difference. However, the way that it's configured makes a big difference, right? Those saddlebags on this bike are substantially larger than what is on the Vision. In fact, Kathy and I have been out on this bike traveling together on an overnight trip, and we were able to each take one of those saddlebags, and we had more than enough room to put in everything that we needed. Again, that keeps the weight down lower on this bike than it does when we're traveling on the Vision. In addition, this bike is about 100 pounds, a little over 100 pounds lighter than the Vision at 771 pounds. All right, so again, that makes a huge difference, especially while traveling at slow speed. know, in traffic situations, parking lots, and so forth. So that's basically the gist of why I decided to switch bikes and why we decided to go for this one. We looked at the RT, and my original idea was to get the RT, put a trunk on the back of it, and if I had to upgrade the seat and so forth to make it more comfortable for Kathy, then I would go ahead and do that. However, she didn't like the RT at all. It has very small pegs in the back, so we were going to have to do something to give her floorboards, which I know are available for it. We were going to have to upgrade the seat and again put a trunk on it, which runs about $1,800. So by the time we were going to do all that, we were getting up into the same price range that this bike was. So she looked at the saddle on this bike, especially the rear saddle, and said, "What about this one? This looks like it's a lot more comfortable." So this was kind of the compromise bike between the RT. The RT goes for a little over 600 pounds, so that would have been a substantial weight difference between it and the Vision. So this was a compromise to make sure that she's going to be comfortable on the bike, but also give me the things that I was looking for in a new bike. So we ended up with this. As far as price goes, because this was the 2018, I got what I think was a pretty good deal at it for this bike. The sticker on this bike with all of the premium package and so forth from BMW, which is about the only way that they really sell them, is about $29,000, which was a little more than I wanted to spend. However, being an 18, they had it marked down to about $25,800, I think it was, and we ended up settling at $24,200, which again, for a brand new bike with basically 0 miles on it. It had 10 miles when I took it for a test ride. And considering that in 2009 I spent $20,000, a little over $20,000 for the Vision, I was getting, again, a bike that is 10 years newer in technology for $24,000. So I thought that was a really good deal. So we took it, and said so far I've been really pleased with the bike. It does everything that I want it to. It definitely is much easier to handle. You know, when I'm coming to a stop, even with Kathy on the back of it, I can actually just use one foot, which you know, I could never do that on the Vision. I always had to get both feet down. And also on this bike, it just handles much better than the Vision does. And the Vision's not a bad handling bike. The Vision for a big bike was always known as a very good handling bike. But compared to this one, it's kind of a slug. So those are some of the benefits that so far I'm getting out of this bike. Now, in addition, of course, this bike has a lot more power in it. You know, I had done some upgrades to the Vision that brought the horsepower up to about 117, you know, when it was dynoed, and then 114 foot-pounds of torque. So again, that's not bad. And again, that's to the rear wheel. But this bike comes standard with 160 horsepower and 129 foot-pounds of torque before you even do anything to it. So hang on, I got some traffic here, so I'm just keeping an eye on everything. There we go. Okay. It's a busy day today, and people are in a hurry, apparently. But anyway, so this bike really has a lot of power. It, you know, and just amazing. It really throws you back if you really want to crank on it, which I've done a few times. But for the most part, I'm just traveling around on roads like I'm doing today. you know, nice tight little back roads, and this thing handles those fantastically as well. Again, much easier to throw in around in the twisties than the Vision was. And again, the Vision's not bad, but again, this is just much better to do that with. And unfortunately, I'm stuck behind this truck, or we'd show you a little bit more what this thing can do. But this is a beautiful road. It's called Tower Hill Road that cuts over here through northern Rhode Island and over into Massachusetts. But you do have to be careful on this road because there's a lot of blind corners like that, so, and they're really tight corners. If you meet a car right here, it's not always good, so you do have to be careful in here. So we're just going to take it nice and easy and have some fun. Okay guys, so that is part one of this series on my new BMW K1600 GTL. Let me know how you like this vlogging or vlogging style of video. I ended up talking quite a bit on this bike, so that's why it's broken up into more than one part here. We'll see. I think there's going to be 3 of them. But also, I want to let you know that I also have some new t-shirts out there that are now available. This one says, "Find Adventure on Every Ride," and it's dedicated to all of us who ride motorcycles, right? Adventure is not about the kind of bike you ride or where you ride, the kind of riding that you do. It's just about the fact that you ride. You can find adventure on any bike and on any ride that you decide to take. Now, of course, this shirt comes in several different colors, and you can get to it off of my website, that is www.livingofftheslab.com, or through my Teespring store, and the link will be in the description of this video. So if you decide to buy one, we really appreciate it very much. However you decide to support this channel, whether it be buying a t-shirt, right, linking to Twisted Throttle through my website, or by becoming a Patreon and supporting us on a monthly basis, which you can do for as little as $1 a month. We really appreciate everything that you guys do out there. All right, we'll see you next time on part 2.